So guys, we're back. Today we're going to have a quick look at Workspace, obviously, the enhanced RAW format, what makes it so unique, and then the color creator, which I believe is one of the most exciting functions Olympus created. It is something that can take you years to learn and to master. Each time I think I know it or I understand it, then I learn something new about it. It's truly an amazing function. So I like to encourage you to take a good look at these 7 images that I'm going to go through. It might take a little longer than normal. You can always, stop halfway or 2 edits and then come back later to see more. But with the 7 edits, you will get a good feel of how I edit in Workspace and how I treat my images from my Olympus cameras. Obviously also OM system. So let's have a look at this one here. I normally start by having a look at the colors in the image. So we have obviously greenish here, gold here, a red, typical for this area, green, and then we have a sun here, a late afternoon sun, and then a clean sky. So normally this would be blue or cyan, and then not too hard contrasts. So let's do the basic reset for this image. I normally do a reset to cancel my camera, anything specific I did in the camera. Here you can see the settings that will be changed. And if I, for example, doesn't want to change the picture mode now, I can just deselect it here. But we're going to do the full reset now. I like to start with a small contrast. I use the curves as a first choice, but I also use the contrast slider in the camera or in Workspace. So for example, where I use tonal curve here, we don't have this function in the camera, so you might use the normal contrast slider in the camera to simulate a similar effect as what I get with this here. So you can see the effect that we got there. And then I want to go directly to the white balance, select the camera setting. The reason I didn't use this setting in the basic configuration is I don't want to overwrite the camera values each time I do a camera reset in Workspace. So let's go to the color creator. You find it here in picture mode. The moment you select the color creator, there's already a change in the image. This line here is sort of like a neutral line. That's what makes this function so unique. Nothing extreme happens on this position here. The moment I move over to the right, I will introduce yellows or green or plus greens. So I will have a yellow and a green effect. The more I move to red, the more red I will add to the image. The same on this side. If I select this here, I will get a yellow as well as a green effect. And the more I move over to this side, the green effect will increase. And that will happen everywhere. If I go to blue, the red effect will increase, or the cyan and then green effect will increase on this side. And then I normally target the dominant color in the image. And I'll show you a few examples as we move on. In this case, I know that the sun would have a yellow cast here on this area here. So this is too pure, this is too correct, I would say, at this point in time. So let's do that. Let's add a bit of a yellow cast in there, and I just sort of increase the saturation, but it's not a traditional saturation that I'm doing now, and you can see the effect. The little wheel is still turning here at the top left, and there you can see the effect. We can see it in the greens changed here, as well as the sun effect on this side, and the sky also changed. Now if I move to the right, let's keep it without a saturation setting. Then again you can see I added yellow here, but the green effect that I was talking about is more dominant or visible at this point in time here. If I now go to my tonal adjustments, I can up the shadows a little, just to see if I get a different effect here. Yes. and I can do another one. It's critical to do one step at a time and then to study the image to see if that is the effect that you're really looking for. And I'm happy with this at this point in time. Now I could bring down the highlights a little bit, but one has to be so careful because you can remove all life from the image. If you I don't know how to explain it better, but you can quickly kill the image by bringing the highlights down too much. It's very critical to have a close look while you're adjusting the highlights. So I'm happy with this image. I think one can use it as is. One thing I would do sometimes is I would add a clarity adjustment, just to bring everything into sort of place or focus, if you may. I already did a unsharp mask, which is part of the reset, and that would be the final image. Now, just before I continue, one could, for example, be a little bit more extreme on the yellow cast on the sun here, and I don't think if I would prefer that. I could rather do a saturation increase there, because I want to keep it on the yellow side here, or the orange side. Now one could do that also. So I mean, you also have the benefit in the clock here. So let's go to the next image. Here we have an interesting example. This is a late afternoon sun view, and what is unique is how the sun lights up this tree here. So we don't have to do really much here. Let's reset the image. This is so unique, the fact that I can reset my camera settings in Workspace. Nowhere else do you have this ability that you can access your camera settings and bring it back to a neutral level so that you can have more flexibility when you edit. Let's have a quick look. So again, the colors that we like to see or target would be the red here. There's nice yellow orange colors in the tree. In the back I have the same. The greens is quite dominant, but there are different colors of green. It's not one monotone green. And then obviously the sky, there are more in the sky than what we see here. I use the EM1, the 75 to 300, and here you can see the settings. Nothing strange. There's nothing here that I want to change really. Let's go to the color creator, and the moment I select the color creator, there's already like a basic setting taking place. Like I said, the little wheel is turning up, and then I can increase or do a saturation sort of setting again, and that's enough. I don't need anything more here. So for me this is already stunning. You can compare it to the original image, and here you can see that there was a little bit more red here in the eye enhanced picture mode. Remember, we're now in the color creator, which is a different mode. Just for interest sake, try this here. Now this is interesting. The moment you move away from this line here, like I said, you have green in play and also red, and obviously the yellow as the main color. I don't want the green here, so I'll rather move closer to the red, because that's what we want to target in the tree. So if I move more to the red, that's a little bit too much, but you can also see that I now lost some of the green here. So this, in some cases, it's very nice to tone or to tame the greens a little, but this is too much. Let's go there. So it's really a question of step by step until you get to a point where you say, no, I like what I see. And I think this is the point for me. I can increase the saturation just a little to see. Might be too much, which is actually very nice. So let's take it back there, and then I can do a saturation increase or a contrast adjustment here on the tone curve. Which will isolate the colors for me a little more. And I just want to go back here. And then we can have a look and see. If I bring down the midtones a little, yes. So let's compare again. And there's the final one. So that would be my final image. I like the change in grass here now, which is, it's more natural for me. Not that that was the point. The point was more to get my own image look in here, and this is something that you can do with the Color Creator. And I also believe this is what makes the Color Creator so unique, is you can, by doing different edits, not having one profile or recipe, for example, by learning how to use the Color Creator, your images will be very unique, because that is the nature of the Color Creator. So let's go to the next image. This is a very exciting image. I had the OM5 with me, the 75 1.8 lens. I think this is one of the best lenses from Olympus, or the M4 format. It's absolutely wonderful lens to play with. And I have different layers in this shot. So I have a layer right in the front here. I have a layer here with a flower, something in the back, and then like a misty sort of layer also. And with the editing, with the tonal adjustments as well as color adjustments, I will focus on each of these layers when I edit. So let's start with a basic reset again, and then I will immediately add a contrast in curves, very slight contrast. One of the secrets of Workspace and Olympus is not extreme adjustments. It's step by step until you find that sweet spot that really makes the image pop. So next I will then move to the Color Creator, and it's now already doing its first adjustment. As you can see, the greens are increasing, and lovely. I can leave it as is, doing nothing more. What will be the main color to focus on here? Will it be the magenta purple here? Will it be the green, or this here? Or would I like to bring out more of the yellows in the foliage or the leaves or the grass here? So I find it's difficult to focus only on a small area like this. Let's try it. Let's go to the magenta and see what happens. So now this is normal to see. So the magenta, the opposite or the complementary color is green on the other side, so which makes sense. The green is still there, but little undersaturated or more pastel color. Let's just do this and see what happens. So I get a little bit more of the green now. The magenta here is still good, but what I don't want is the magenta in the back here. So the water stream turned all magenta, and personally I don't like it so much, but it's lovely here in the grass here. There are merits. Let's go back to the setting here and do the saturation effort like I do normally. And this is way too much green now. I'm not a big fan of this overly green effect. So I'd rather go, I don't want to lose the green, but I want to tone it down and add yellow. Let's see what happens. So this is a very interesting effect. You can see the increase in yellow or orange color. The red here is obviously still in my benefit, or I'm benefiting from it here. And the water stream in the back is also much more neutral now. I like this. So let's do a few tonal changes here. There's not much to do here. I could darken the background a little here just to get more separation, and I like that. And then one could change the midtones and up the overall exposure with one step here, or 0.1 EV. That's nice. And then now in this case I would normally add clarity, so I would do a clarity for the sharp areas like this here, but I would also do a dehaze, a negative option here, because I want to maintain this foggy, this unique look here. And then you can see I did use ISO, or the camera selected ISO 1000, which is nice, so I can cancel the noise filter and use the AI filter instead, the AI noise filter from Workspace, and that would be the finished image. I love it. And if I compare it to the original, this is then the final image here. Both are nice. I think the normal Olympus colors is also nice, but this is different. This is your own or my own style at the moment. So let's go to the next one. Now here you have a very interesting scene. I was out with my grandson. We were doing some photography last year, late last year. I had my EM1 with me, the 12-200, a lovely lens which I like a lot, and ISO 800 here. So it was late afternoon, and I was standing on the other side of the lake here, and captured this shot with the sun coming in from the left here. And something interesting happens here. So let's go to the basic settings, and I want to show you. I don't want to change the picture mode now, so I'm going to do the basic settings here. So there we are. Now watch what happens when I change the eye enhance. So even the way that the enhanced raw file works is, this setting is currently active in Workspace, even though I haven't purposely selected it here. So if I select it, it's obviously nothing will change. But if I go to the normal or the neutral picture mode, watch what happens. Now what you see here is, you don't always see it as much as in this example, but you had an example of what eye enhance, all the technologies from Olympus to optimize an image is found in the eye enhance picture mode. And the moment you select eye enhance or use it in the camera, these are the benefits of using eye enhance, for example. If I now go out to the natural picture mode, which I need if I want to use the adjust color tool, and obviously if I want to go to the color creator, it's similar. I lose access to those special features in the eye enhance picture mode. So in some cases it's better just to keep it in eye enhance and don't edit really, or edit the image while you're in the eye enhance picture mode. So this one was a little bit more difficult for me, so I saved it. Let's just have a look here. This is the final edit that I then have done then. So that's the final image that I edited. Let's have a look. So I reduced the exposure a little, and the reason is I wanted to get a view of the sky here. I wanted to add that. And then this is a very interesting play of light in this example here. So the light is coming, the sunlight is coming in with this direction from left to right, and back in the trees here you only see the tree tops having sun. or still receiving sun. And here you have less sun here at the lower point, and then the reds are like burning on the top here as the sun reaches it. This is a fantastic moment to capture this sort of play of light. And then obviously you have the focus point was the sailboat here, so you're a little bit out of focus as you move more to the back here, and you have this reflection in the water also. So let's have a look at the before after. You can see it's almost the same, and I'll show you why. Because I kept the eye enhanced mode, so I stayed in the eye enhanced mode, and I didn't do much color changes, as you can see, except for adding a bit of contrast, which also gives like a saturation effect, and the tonal adjustments that I did here. So between global adjustment, which is exposure, and tonal adjustments, which is something different, like I explained before, I was able to, if you look at this area here for example, to highlight more the play of the sunlight in the trees here. So I managed to get that done. I also had a more late afternoon sun effect here on the water, together with a reflection there, and a little bit more in the sky, or visibility of what's happening in the sky. I guess one can do more. It's really, it takes time to play and to make small adjustments. Like for example, if you do one adjustment here on the exposure side, then you get a radical change. As you can see, you get a radical change here. So the sun play in the trees are obviously immediately visible, and this might even be a nicer version, you know. So it's really a question of playing with light. We are not correcting so-called mistakes the camera made, like clipping or poor shadow details. We are really trying to highlight the natural light play in the scene, especially a landscape like this. So let's go to another really interesting example. And I saw this cat. I had the EM1 with me, the 75-300. The camera selected 1600, which is nice. And again, my camera is always on eye enhance and the low option here. So let's crop this one quickly. I want to do a 4:3 crop here. And if you click here in the center, then the crop will turn, and you can then do the crop. That's good. Now something interesting, if I reset this image, so let's do the reset, then you will see there's no cropping here. I haven't included the cropping function in the basic conversion. So nothing will happen to the crop, and this is one of the nice things about Workspace. You can do edits, and then before you do the basic readjustment, and then deselect it, or like in this case, it wasn't selected, and then there's no effect either. So do the reset. So what do we have here? We have the cat. So obviously you can see the colors changing. You can see quite an effect from going back to picture mode and natural versus eye enhance. We can select the white balance setting in the camera here, and we can also, because of ISO 1600, I can go for the AI noise filter, so go low again here. I almost always use low, and so here we have a very interesting, we have almost red, we have a red cast. These cats are known for it. Orange, dark brown, we have the green in the eyes, the white here, it's a lovely cat. So let's up the exposure a little. I think we can do another step with exposure. I want to keep this, I don't want to overdo it on this part here. We can do a mid-tone readjustment here. A little bit too much for that highlight there. I want to keep it here. Add contrast. Only a little bit, we don't need much. Then I want to have a little brighter in the eyes, so let's do another mid-tone adjustment. There you can see the difference. You know, like this one adjustment made a huge difference for the eyes. Let's do one more and see what happens. So an interesting thing is happening now. A mid-tone can become a highlight. So if I shift the mid-tone too much to the right, it becomes a highlight. Then I need to tone it down with the highlights again. The same for shadows. So always keep in mind that the mid-tones, the shadows or the highlights might change as we adjust them. So I'm just going to bring the highlight down one step here. Monitor the eyes to see that I don't lose the brightness. I think this effect is quite nice. And then we can go to the color creator. And the basic setting, let's have a look what happens. You can see immediately the red orange is changing immediately if I up the saturation. You can see the effect. Awesome. One could say I want to see what will happen with the green in the eye, so this time we will go on this side here. Now we always have the yellow because it happens when you, wow, this is interesting. This is interesting. So the neutral position here is, like I said, neutral, and you get like a saturation or desaturation effect. Moving to this side, we're adding yellow or red the further we go, but we keep green. There's always green. Moving to this side, we're focusing on green and darker green here. The first part is yellow to green normally, but we still have the yellow. You can see it here. If I add a little bit saturation at this point, you can see that the green in the eyes are more prominent, and the yellow orange sort of color here, I think it's really nice. We could also have done it to this side here to play with orange or yellow red. Let's see what happens, which is also a very nice effect. But let's go back to this one. I think this one was quite nice. And then we could add clarity. I want to up the noise filter to standard here, and then compare this image to, let the wheel just finish there, and we compare this to the original. So that's the original on the left, and that's the one, or the edited one, that we've done now. Mostly with the color creator, which is interesting. Then I want to do one more quick edit. Here you have again an interesting example of a late afternoon sun. Olympus has a very nice and unique way of treating clipped or almost clipped areas in the image. Going from the highlight to the next level here is normally a soft transition, which Olympus do. When you start pulling highlight sliders left and right, you're destroying that transition. So if I do that because I want to prevent any clipping, two things happen. I kill the image, so there's nothing interesting left in the image, and I have a hard transition here now. So let's reset this image. So obviously I'm going from eye enhanced to natural now. So what do we have here? We have a late afternoon sun, yellow. We have a darker color, probably blue in here, We obviously have blue sky here on the top. Here we have some blue sky. Here a good portion. Mixed with cyan, here you can also see. Then we have a silhouette, which is nice here in the front. So a yellow cast would obviously benefit this image here, but I'd like to see the blues also benefit. So I'm not going to do much in terms of tonal adjustments at this point. What we could do is just add a tiny contrast again, yeah, and then I want to move directly to the color creator. And give it one step saturation, and that's it. I will do nothing more. I love this image. I think it's awesome. So you can see the blues immediately benefited. Why did the blue benefit? Because the complementary or opposite color is blue. Again, this is what makes the color creator so unique. It's not only what's happening to the left or the right, it's also what is on the other side of your selection, which is having an influence on the final result. So let's do another one. And here, the reason I selected this one is I want to show you two things which is quite interesting here. Again, the EM1 Mark III, the 12 to 200, 1600 ISO, eye enhance, no exposure compensation here or shift, f7.1. Let's do one thing first. I want to crop this image, but I also see, so I obviously had the lens pointed down probably a little because I want to correct this here. So what you can do is we can select the lines here and then move it a little closer over here and do a keystone correction. You can see I would typically go in this direction here. 1, 2, 3. It's quite extreme, so that's why I go for 3 here. I would have to do another one. So, and this is now good enough. Then cancel this here. The lines are always extremely helpful. I'll do a crop. I want to get that out of the center. I take a Instagram ratio. So now you can see we have a really bright area here, and then the camera was, the exposure is reasonable on the inside here. So if I want to rebalance the exposure, I don't have to worry about noise or anything like that, because the SNR was done in the camera, the signal to noise ratio, so it's not changing while I'm editing. It happened in the camera. What we have here will never change again. So I can really play even if I change the exposure with the exposure compensation in Workspace. So let's go down one stop, and there you can see the effect on the outside. I'll have to go radically down to change that even more, and then still it will not be perfect because the camera didn't, the exposure wasn't set for this on the outside, and the purpose is also not to really recover this part of the image. I just want to have a little bit more information there than only a bright area, and that's why I do it with one stop. And then I select the gradation function, auto, to rebalance this part here. So you can see I haven't selected the basic settings. So now I've already done exposure compensation, I've already done a gradation adjustment, So let's select those. So I'm now going to from eye enhance to natural again. There might be a change. And let's select the camera's white balance setting here. I don't have to do anything more. One could say you want to focus a little more in this area here, but again, why it's so critical to do small adjustments is all the reflections here from the stones, we don't want to lose that. I would rather like to highlight the reflections here, and by taking the highlights down too much, I might lose this effect here. So I do gain a little here, but I will quickly reach a point where I gain almost nothing here, but definitely lose the reflection on this side. And it's something to watch always. And then I can go to the color creator, or we haven't done a contrast. I always like to do a contrast. There we are, the color creator. The basic setting, and the basic setting might already be enough, because remember we're working with a sun's color here, the yellow orange afternoon sun, and there we can see it immediately, the effect on the outside as well as the inside. Now I'll leave this image as is. I have a nice reflection here on the cobblestone, and the shade is enough here. I can select again the AI noise filter. You can leave it on standard. There's not critical details. I never saw it, I never lost details, but just for in case, there's no critical details that we can lose. And then you might add a mid-tone adjustment. Remember, that's all highlight area here. The mid-tone is more on the inside here, and there I have it. That's lovely. You could add a little bit on the shadow side, just to recover some of that on the top here. Yes, and that would be the final image. So guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Until next time, Siegfried. Bye.